So to get started to make our bird feeder birdhouse, you're going to need a plastic bowl and a square piece of cardboard. So I've already glued mine down to the cardboard, but you can take masking tape and masking tape this down instead of using glue. You want your square to be wider than your bowl. So if I show you from this angle, I've got space at the top, the bottom and each side. And I've cut out a door shape. Now it's not right at the bottom of the bowl. You want to create a little lip so that when you put your seed in there, the wind doesn't accidentally blow it out. So this creates like a little wind barrier. When I cut this out, I used a sharp knife. So you might want to get an adult to cut this out for you. And because I didn't want to hurt any birds, I covered the doorway with masking tape. So I took a little bit of tape and I wrapped it round all over so that the edge is no longer sharp and I can put my hand in, and I'm not going to cut myself, so I know that a bird's not going to cut itself. So once you've done this, you then need to get yourself a rectangular piece of cardboard or card like this one. You want to create the same doorway shape that you created in your bottle, and you need to cut that out. And again, I did my masking tape so that the edge is nice and smooth, and I don't have to worry about anyone getting caught, any wings or feathers there. I also cut out a window. You don't have to do this, but I thought a nice little circular window so I can have a look at what's going on inside. You need this to be as big as it can wrap around your bowl. Okay? So if I wrap it around my bottle, I know it can quite comfortably fit all the way around. Once you've got this in place and you see I've lined up the doors, you want to sellotape or glue this bit together. So give it a bit of a glue or sellotape, sorry, and you want to sellotape this down to the base. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll get back to you to show you how we're going to make a roof. And it's pretty much almost ready. Can you see my window at the side? So let me start to glue and tape this down, and I'll get back to you and show you how to make your roof. So I have stuck my cardboard tube around my bowl. I've got a little window, and the plastic bottle creates like glass, so the wind's not going to get in there and blow all my seed out. I've stuck this down to my base, and on the front of my base I cut a little semicircle out so that there's more space for birds to sit. Now you're going to need to create a roof. We're almost finished. You're going to draw a pizza, let's say draw a pizza and then cut out 2 slices of pizza. So you've got like this shape, which is kind of not a semicircle. It's a little bit more than a semicircle. So that's a semicircle there, and it's an extra slice of pizza on that. Or if you want to think about a video game, it looks like Pac-Man. If you don't know who Pac-Man is, don't worry about it. But you're going to draw this, and then you're going to bend the card. Bend all of the card in many different directions to make it soft, and that way you'll be able to bend it a little bit easier. So bend it all, bend it all. You can see how creased and bent it is. And then we're going to fold this from the center to make an upside down ice cream cone. We want to make sure that there's an overlap and the edges meet. So if you make your roof too small, you'll see the edges will not meet. So you want to make sure that they meet. Once the edges meet, you're going to apply some tape or glue if you're using glue to make this nice and strong. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape it down and add a little bit of glue. Now you want to make sure that you cover up the hole at the top, otherwise the top of the bottle, which is open, will get lots of moisture in there, so you want to seal it up. So there is your roof, and you can stick it on top and again use a bit of masking tape, or if you want to, you can keep it open and you can fill up your bird feeder from the top. I'm going to close mine up because I can get my hand in there and put the seed in really easily, so I don't have to worry about that. So once you've stuck this on, you can then decide either if it's going to be outside in the garden and there's no shelter over it, you want to make it waterproof. So I would either cover it in masking tape, all over masking tape it before you paint it, or you can cover it in PVA glue and use either a bit of tissue paper or newspaper and cover it to make it all a little bit more waterproof. And then when you paint it with acrylic, you want to make sure that you're painting it quite thickly, and that will make it a little bit more waterproof. I'm not going to worry about making it too waterproof because I'm going to stick it underneath my pergola outside, so it's going to be sheltered, it won't get too wet. So now's the fun bit. It's when you get to start to paint and decorate it. You can paint it any way that you choose. I'm going to paint mine and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Then we need to figure out how we're going to hang it. And I suggest we use string to hang it from either point, maybe a point at the back too. Hang it up from the top. So let me paint it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so here's my one all painted. I decided to do a spiral rainbow bird feeder. I completely covered mine and then I did some detailing with some nice black pen. You can put whatever you want on yours. You can cut out some flowers from a magazine and glue them all over. That would look really nice hanging up. You can do paint like I did. You can colour it in with felt tip pens. You can leave it. You can do whatever you want. This is just how I did my one. Now this bit at the front is a little bit of a perch. I just glued it in here, squashed it into the cardboard and glued it in, and this will give a bird something to sit on, so I don't just have this space, I've also got this one. So now that it's all painted, you need to hang it up. So I recommend you do this with some string, and I've got this lovely orange string. You're going to need to make some holes. So if you get a piece of blue tack or Play-Doh and a nice sharp pin, pop it underneath the corner of your base and stab it through to make a hole. You need to make a hole in the 4 corners, so the 2 at the front and the 2 at the back, and then we're going to need to thread some string through. So I've already done two pieces, one at the side and one at the back, and I'm going to do the last one with you. So you're going to take a nice long piece, make it nice and long, so that you can thread it through and knot it at the height that you need. So we're going to start by threading it through the back corner. I'm starting underneath my bird feeder, and provided you've made your hole big enough, you should be able to feed your string through. There you go, nice and easy. So there's one. Now we need to get the second one through at the very front corner. There it is. And then sit it upright. Now you want to pull the ends so that they are equal in length and give them a knot. You want to make sure that they are all about the same size all the way around. Oh, my strings are all knotted up. So hold them up. Make sure your knots are about the same height. Judge with your eyes and your fingers. Knot it off. Now because I've done 3 sides, I'm leaving the front side open so that the birds can get in. I'm now going to pull the strings together and knot them all together at the top so that it sits nice and strongly supported either side. This way, if there's some wind blowing, it also won't blow off. Be pretty much secure. So hold your strings nice and tight, make sure that none of them are loose, and pull your strings into a nice big knot at the top. Like that. Oh, mine's a bit wonky already. Need to fix that. So once you've done all of your strings, you're ready to hang it. Let's take it to the garden. I'll put some birdseed in and we can hang it up in a nice tree. So there you go, guys. I've just hung it from my favourite tree. I've got my little Buddha there. He glows in the dark. And the string, because it's the four corners together, it will balance itself out and you can fix it so it will never be wonky. You can always fix it. So I've put my seeds and my nuts inside and a little bit of dried fruit for my birds. And I'm excited to see them use it now. Doesn't it look pretty?